Yeah. It can vent. Yeah. I'm in the search for peace at least. In a better spot to sit.
One of the things that we asked for in the second meeting was, again, how can we engage community and civilian review boards, and if they would be willing to even explore those possibilities. So what about bringing people together to research different models of community engagement in policing that bring about transparency and accountability and those things? And so the police chief agreed to engage in that process with us and said, yes, and I'll give you a couple of officers to be on that task force kind of with you to do some of that research and review. And at that point, they also reached out to our diversity commission, which I'm a member as well, and wanted us to work with the diversity commission as well. And so that was a part of our conversation following up on that, to pursue that, and then wanting to look at issues around de-escalation and having that conversation, training that our officers were getting in different areas and what that looked like, and how and whether or not they felt that training was adequate in different areas. We talked about implicit bias training as well with officers. And Suzy, you can ask more.
Suzy, have they had any recent implicit bias training, and was that discussed?
They did have there was a woman that the chief had heard prior at another conference that he brought in. And I hope I'm getting her name right. It is Loretta Flowers, or is it Loretta Summer? Loretta Flowers, I believe. Anyway, so the city personnel were involved in that, all of the officers and the chief and the administrative part of the police department, police agency, all participated in it. And so we were really excited to hear how that went. We knew that was going to be happening from the second meeting. So in the third meeting, we wanted to hear, how that went and what types of changes it might bring about from what they learned. And it was interesting. I was a little disappointed, honestly, because I think there's no question the reason that we're there and the reason that there is a need for police reform, when you're talking about implicit bias, it obviously centers around race and how we definitely see people of a different race in a different light. And we make these split-second decisions, and how we need to really re-educate our brains to react differently. And in going around and asking the mayor and the police chief and some other people that attended, not one person mentioned race as a topic that they discussed or a topic that they were, immersed in. Or
wait. So they had implicit bias training. They then are meeting with the NAACP and Black Lives Matter, and they didn't bring up the fact that in this implicit bias training, they didn't bring up race at all?
It wasn't mentioned.
And Image Day Northern Utah, we invited them to be a part of our group as we expanded. And the basic takeaway from those that were sharing was everybody has bias.
What was it about? I mean, what's the implicit bias training about when they were talking with the police if it's not about race?
We don't know. We weren't allowed to attend. Her curriculum is private. It's proprietary. She won't share that. We don't know. We really don't know.
He told me around here that's a lot of federal. I troll in the block. I swear it's hard, not the middle. Or that was just a peek at what the next man doing. The situation.